ஒரே ஒரு 5 லிட்டர் இதய மந்த்ரா கடல் எண்ணெய் பேக் ஒரு மாசம் முழுசுக்கும் அத்தனை சமையலும் முடிச்சு விடலாம். இதய மந்த்ரா.
ஆபரேஷன் சிந்தூர் நடந்தது என்ன, அடுத்தது என்ன? லெப்டினன்ட் கர்னல் தியாகராஜன், பேராசிரியர் ராமஸ்ரீனிவாசன் பங்கேற்கும் சாணக்யாவின் உரைவீச்சு ஜூன் 29 ஞாயிறு மாலை 6 மணிக்கு கிகானி ஸ்கூல் ஆடிட்டோரியம், ஆர்எஸ்புரம், கோயம்புத்தூர். அனைவரும் வருக, அனுமதி இலவசம்.
No, I think at the outset I must say congratulations. The first stage has been successfully accomplished, and in fact they have made it before time. So going by the jargon which is very popularly followed in the domestic airlines these days, back home in India they would have announced, happy to announce before time arrival. In fact it's been about 30-40 minutes before the scheduled time that we had held since this morning. And now I think the next, they are virtually standing, as I tweeted, they are virtually standing at the threshold entrance, and the next would be, of course, they are formally entering into the ISS, and they have also planned a formal welcome ceremony by those of the astronauts who are already there to actually formally, officially receive the 4 who are today going to be part of that expedition along with them.
So how proud matter is this for India? How do you see this year? Also just tweeted and
No,
congratulated.
No, I think proud also because of the fact that this time around India has been entrusted to perform the most critical part of the expedition, the crucial experiments, particularly those related to life sciences, those related to the possibilities of exploring the potential or the probability of habitat, microgravity, milieu, whether it's in relation to the microorganisms or the human beings, the various functions and or dysfunctions likely to happen with regard to the human physiology. And this is something which is going to have a very critical bearing on all the future expeditions across the world. And mind you, we started our space journey much later compared to the United States or even the Soviet Union. In fact, when we started, by that time the United States of America had already landed a human being on the surface of Earth, the surface of Moon in 1969. But today our credibility, the trustworthiness of our capacities has risen to such an extent that it is our talent which is being looked forward to for a collaboration which would benefit others as well. So I think that's a huge change of what it was till a few years back and it is today.
How it is putting India on a global platform, India being a part of it?
I think we are already in a global platform. It's just now that and increasingly India's role in the global arena is not only being acknowledged, but the rest of the world also look forward to India for vital cues. Even before this mission, the Chandrayaan-3 inputs and the findings are being very eagerly awaited by the rest of the world because there also we were the first to reach the southern pole. We were the first to discover the presence of the possibility of water there being on the surface of Moon, the discovery of the H2 molecules which happened through the earlier Chandrayaan mission. So, and that was the first indication of the possibility of habitat being probable over there, and then that led to the further cues of exploring that aspect even deeper. So I think now it's not only that it's a global role for India, it's also a leading role for India, and India in the times to come would have to take the responsibility of also laying down the roadmap or the direction for the rest of the world.
Sir, भारत के लिए आज ऐतिहासिक दिन भी है. पहला इंडियन जो इंडियन स्पेस इंटरनेशनल स्पेस सेंटर में पहुंचे हैं सुधांशु शुक्ला.
निश्चय, जैसे कि कल प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भी कहा कि पहली मर्तबा ऐसा हो रहा है कि कोई भारतीय मूल का अंतरिक्ष यात्री इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन पर गए हैं, तो भारत के लिए गर्व की बात तो ही है. और साथ ही साथ मुझे लगता है कि ये अवसर है आभार प्रकट करने का भी देश के राजनीतिक नेतृत्व का, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी का, कि जिस प्रकार का एक अनुकूलता कामकाज के वातावरण में आई उसके कारण ये संभव हो पाया, क्योंकि यही प्रतिभा, यही योग्यता, यही काबिलियत, यही मेहनत करने का मादा, यही आंखों में सितारे, यही दिल में अरमान, साराभाई के ज़माने से थे, लेकिन जो नीति निर्धारकों के स्तर से जिस प्रकार का सहयोग और अनुकूलता अपेक्षित होती थी, शायद उसका कहीं ना कहीं अभाव था। वो सन 2014 के बाद, मोदी जी के आने के बाद उसकी पूर्ति हुई। जिस तरह से अनेकों ऐसे क्रांतिकारी निर्णय लिए गए जिसमें प्राइवेट सेक्टर को खोलने की बात भी आई, उससे उसका परिणाम ये हुआ कि एक बड़ी तीव्र गति से हमारी अंतरिक्ष की यात्रा को बल मिला। और आज तो स्थिति यह है कि हमारी स्पेस इकॉनमी देश की ओवरऑल इकॉनमी का एक बहुत प्रमुख अंग बनता जा रहा है। हमारी इकॉनमी इट वाज जस्ट डिसमल टिल ओनली 4-5 years बैक। आज हम 8-9-10 बिलियन US डॉलर पर पहुंच गए, और जिस प्रकार, जिस गति से, जिस रफ्तार से ये बढ़ रहा है, उससे हमारा ये जो हमारे आंकड़े ये दर्शाते हैं कि आने वाले 8-10 वर्षों में 4-5 गुना और बढ़ के हम 40-45 बिलियन US डॉलर यानी $5 ट्रिलियन इकॉनमी की ओर बढ़ते हुए स्पेस सेक्टर का एक महत्वपूर्ण योगदान रहने वाला है। और हमारा सदा से ये मानना था कि वो सेक्टर जो मोदी जी के आने से पहले पूरी तरह से तलाशे नहीं गए, चाहे वो स्पेस सेक्टर था, मैरीन सेक्टर था, उन सबको अब जब इस्तेमाल में लाया जाएगा तो ओवरऑल इंडिया ग्रोथ स्टोरी में स्पेस का बहुत बड़ा योगदान रहेगा।
सर, आप कह रहे हैं कि पहले इस तरह की आइडेंटिटी नहीं थी, चाहे वो स्पेस की एक्टिविटीज हो या अन्य कोई भी एक्टिविटीज हो, इस तरह की पॉलिसीज नहीं बनाई गई थी। आपने साराभाई का भी जिक्र किया कि तब टैलेंट था, तब कैपेबिलिटी थी, लेकिन उस तरह से उसका इस्तेमाल नहीं किया गया, शायद उस तरह का प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं मिला। और अब 2014 के बाद नित नए आयाम खुल रहे हैं, नए भारत की ओर हम बढ़ रहे हैं। इस कंपैरिजन को सर आप कैसे डिकोड करेंगे?
नहीं, मुझे लगता है कि सबसे आसान तरीका उस कंपैरिजन को समझने का ये है कि अगर आप आर्काइव्स में जाएं तो वहाँ एक बड़ी भावुक तस्वीर देखने को मिलेगी, जिसमें साराभाई अपना कुछ सामान बाईसाइकिल के कैरेज पे उठा करके ले जा रहे हैं। अर्थात साधनों का इस कदर अभाव था, मगर आज वो नहीं रहा। और वो इसलिए भी नहीं रहा कि सन 2014 के बाद इस बात का एहसास भी किया गया और इसको स्वीकार किया गया कि यदि हमें यहाँ से आगे बढ़ना है, जहाँ हम खड़े हैं, तो हमें ग्लोबल स्ट्रेटजीज पर चलना होगा। हम पूरी तरह सीमित साधनों पर या सरकार पर निर्भर करके आगे नहीं बढ़ पाएंगे। और वाइडर कोलैबोरेशन, एक्सटेंडेड कोलैबोरेशन, वर्किंग इन सिनर्जी, ये एक नया वर्क कल्चर आया। और ये तभी संभव था जब नीति निर्धारकों की इच्छा शक्ति हो। इसलिए ये कल और आज में ये फर्क है। वरना विक्रम साराभाई और सतीश धवन उस समय भी भौगोलिक स्तर पर उनकी मान्यता थी।
सर, इस तरीके से देख रहे हैं कि शुभांशु शुक्ला जो है, he went on to space and ISS, and we are seeing that he might be doing a lot of experiments that is going to matter the most in the space mission. So how do you see that this will benefit the Indians, Gaganyaan mission?
No, it will benefit the Gaganyaan mission and also the subsequent missions at 2-3 levels. The experience that we gain through these experiments or the exercise of docking and undocking happening repeatedly, which will again happen more than once when we send up the Chandrayaan 4. That is going to add to our cumulative knowledge and cumulative experience of being comfortable while conducting all these missions, including Gaganyaan, and also later on while setting up our own international space station, which is being envisaged to be named as the Bharatiya space station somewhere in 2035. And this is also going to have other aspects for which I think India is one of the first nations to have taken a lead. The space biology, the space medicine, the space agriculture. I mean, these are new terms which are not much in vogue today. I'm using it sounding a little unorthodox, but they may be very much, part of our jargon. Soon they may have a special domain called space biology or a space medicine also. And that initiation has been done through the experiments which are planned to be conducted by Shubhanshu Shukla, and the kits and the material that has been provided to him has been indigenously developed by different institutes and labs across the country. 2 or 3 of them have been by the Department of Biotechnology, and that's why Biotechnology Department has entered into an official MOU with ISRO, which I think the first of its kind anywhere in the world, an MOU between space and biotechnology. because we, before others, have started realizing the futuristic scenario which is going to emerge. Then there are experiment kits provided by different IITs, also Indian Institute of Sciences. So in the true sense, as Prime Minister Modi keeps reiterating, it is whole of science and whole of nation. And these are going to have a bearing on future possibilities of habitat or staying longer in the space. Also the possibilities of food products being developed or being grown over there. Also the understanding of the reactions of the body or the organisms to extreme situations, like they have also carried water bears with them. So all this is one hand. But on the other hand, in the last 10 years, the other hallmark of our space program is that we have not confined ourselves to the launching of rockets. So I think to that extent, India has produced a different model for the rest of the world. Today, our space technology has virtually entered every Indian household, whether it is agriculture, whether it is healthcare, whether it is railway crossings or railway accident prevention, whether it is smart cities, whether it is farms and lands farming, that beautiful program, Swamito program, which has become a global role model. So I think India has actually, because when Sarabhai started off this program, he made one of very famous statements. He said, ultimately, India's space program should be the one which helps in contributing to the task of nation building. And I think that's precisely what's going to happen now. We are not only confining ourselves to sending of rockets, and even the sending of rockets which is happening by India is at much lesser cost compared to what it is being done by the other agencies.
Sir, you mentioned about how a country plays a major role when participating in such kind of missions is concerned, and the past government failed partially, as you mentioned. So, sir, how did they fail, and how this government after 2014, sir, tried to, just erase off the gaps and put forward?
No, I won't say fail or pass. I actually didn't use that word, nor do I. I'm not used to use such impolite expressions. But what I was trying to say is that maybe the other governments had different set of priorities, or maybe they did not realize the requirements of the world around, or maybe they did not envisage a global role for India, which happened after 2014, because Prime Minister Modi was very clear that India has to follow global strategies, live up to global parameters, and our benchmarks have not to be domestic benchmarks. For example, if I start a TV channel, I don't have to say that I have to have a TRP better than the other 5 channels around. I have to see which is the best TRP across the world and match that. So that sense of competitiveness, healthy competitiveness, is actually imperative or a prerequisite for India to reach that pedestal of Viksit Bharat. So we are now operating on a larger scale, competing at a much larger scale, and also planning our strategies and priorities accordingly, which was not possibly happening earlier. That's right. And of course, that is not possible unless you have a compatible support from the policymakers, the political disciplines.